Why would you continue to be a part of something that is not working? First of all, if this religion was so great, couldn't it just cure my gayness? Couldn't it just cure my transness? Especially if I'm vocally saying I don't want to be trans. Especially if I'm vocally saying I don't want to be gay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Marley. Obviously, you know it's me, Marley, because you're back on my channel. And if you are new, hi, I'm Marley. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell notification because I really want to see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for the new people who are on my channel. If you guys want to come on my journey and be a part of my story, welcome. So today's video is not going to be as lighthearted as the last video because I told you guys I'm going to do more raw things and talk about things in my life that really affected me. I'm just gonna roll out I'm gonna roll out all of the stories I remember to the best of my ability. And if anyone else wants to chime in who's been a part of my life, you have all the right to do so, but I'm gonna tell my stories my way, okay? I'm gonna tell the story about what it was like for me growing up in the black church as someone who did identify as, I guess, queer. I knew that I was not gay. You know what I mean? Like, I just knew for a fact that that just was not the label I wanted on me because that's just not who I was as a person. I didn't identify as a gay man. So for me, being gay was just like, that wasn't for me. So I guess now that I look at it and I'm older and then with all the new like labels we have, I guess I would consider myself gender queer because I didn't really identify as anything. I was just, I guess, non-binary? I don't fucking know. I don't know all the terms now, but I remember growing up, there was no one else like me around me. And I was ridiculed about it. I was made fun of. I was beat up. And this is like, about to get real. This isn't even from outside. The adults around me, the other children around me, it was always a constant battle, just being different and outwardly different. I wasn't like someone who even knew how to hide how different I was. I guess in a way that was a blessing for me, but in another way it was a curse because instantly, as soon as you saw me, you knew that I was different. I guess people thought that they needed to walk on eggshells around me or just be an asshole towards me. So that's just how my life was growing up. I was teased, I was poked, I was prodded, I was molested. I've talked about that as well. It happened on more than one occasion and it was with people that I thought that I could trust or that it's a lot. It's a lot of detail and going on. I don't even want to go too far into that right now because this is not what this video is about, really. I guess it is a little bit, but for me, it's more so about like what it was like growing up, especially in the black church. Like for me, I would never go to church because I didn't like church. I would always find a reason to like sleep out, go to a friend's house, you know, like just find any reason not to go to church because I just hated the message. It seemed like every Sunday it was about who's gay here and why is gay bad and gay's this and you can't change into this because God said it's wrong and God. And I started to think to myself, I'm like, well, this God guy doesn't sound too great. So like, why the fuck do I have to follow this? From a young age, like I guess you would say like I kind of just like pushed further and further away from the Christian religion. Like it just was not for me. You can get into heaven if you're this way, but you can't get into heaven if you're this way. And I'm like, so how do I separate the two? And how do I get rid of this thing that they're saying that I shouldn't be? Growing up in the church as someone who is LGBT, who identifies as anything that is not heteronormative, it was hell for me. Like, and I got it from people that were supposed to protect me. And it can be hard sometimes, like growing up knowing that just like people that you think are supposed to love you don't even like you. I started to create my own family. I don't want anyone in my family to take what I'm saying wrong, but I've always been the outcast of my family. I feel like everyone has that one family member that's considered the black sheep. That was definitely me. I don't think that can be denied. I was the black sheep of the family for sure. I was different. I was super artistic and creative. I had a very smart mouth because I questioned everything. For someone who had such a big mouth and for someone who was so vocal about things, I kept so many things private. that a lot of people don't even really know until recently. I've had certain conversations with certain people, and you know, they didn't turn out the best, and you can't really blame people for what they don't know. For me, it definitely opened my eyes to see that like some people just aren't willing to grow as people and really willing to I don't know how to say this. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but it just seems like people just aren't really willing to accept where they might be wrong in certain things, where you've already accepted that years and years and years back. Like for me, I've already accepted my wrong and, you know, pushing family members away and everything like that. But I just feel like people will never get past the fact that this is just who I am now. And growing up this way, it was hell. I got it from kids at school. I got it from family members. I got it from anyone, whoever just felt the need to remind me of how different I was. And it just was, it was just so ugly. And I just could not wait to grow up and like get out of and just move on and flourish and spread my wings and just be greater than what people tried to put onto me. And that's just where I'm at now. I think it's healthy for me to come out and tell my stories, because I think that somebody out there can definitely relate to what I'm saying and where I've been. I just want to be like a listening ear, or even like some type of segue to get to those people. And maybe I don't really see many, you know, black trans influencers, so I'm just trying to be somebody that you can possibly come to and watch. I've got plenty of stories. Like, I guess when I was a teenager, I was more out and more open about who I am or who I was as a person. I was living a very flamboyant life. When I was a cheerleader, you know, I just like let things just hang out and I just let it just be, and I didn't have to really put a name to it. Of course other people did. Of course other people had their own, you know, whatever about it, but I just stuck to myself. Another reason why I just never went to church, because we had a pastor who would preach about gay this and gay that and how terrible it was to be LGBT and how there's a damnation fire and blah blah blah. And the pastor was just like very rude to me because of who I was as a person. He became close friends with my parents and whatever, and they became friends and just whatever. I don't even like to just go into that, because come to find out, the man who was speaking all this, you know, negativity towards LGBT people, but little did we know, he had a whole like past life where I don't even know if it was that much of a past, because I'm not going to put it in there. I'm not going to put his name out there because I guess he served his time. But we had a pastor who was raping children, like literal. There's newspapers about it. I came home one day from school, and mind you, I was 8 months, even more than that, out of church. Like I was done with church, because every time I go to a fucking service and you're telling me how much I'm gonna go to hell, like I'd rather just not be involved. Count me out. I will not be in service. So for me, it was just, why would I want to be a part of some cult that is going to keep telling me that the person that I am, which I can't change by the way, the person that I am is not worthy of this God. So I just said, fuck it. Like, I don't need to be a part of your religion. I don't need to be a part of your cult. I don't need none of that. I don't need it. Like, and I just stayed to myself. But I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it put a little bit of a smile on my face to know that this man, or this monster who was talking all that shit about how horrible it was to be LGBT, was over here molesting and raping children. And then he didn't tell us that that's what it was given. When that was happening and all of that happened, I said, I'm never walking back into another church. I can't do the religious thing. I'm a very spiritual person. I do have my connection with whatever I believe in. It's not up to others to interpret that. What I believe in is what I believe in, and I don't tell other people what they should believe in. But what I will say is, you can't use this religion as a way to oppress other people, especially black people, when we are fighting already so hard to be seen as equals, which sucks that we even have to do that in 2019. What I'm going to say is, the black community also has to stop being the oppressors when it comes to LGBT people, especially trans women of color. I don't think people understand that, like, we would be better as one. The black LGBT community and the black community, like, would be unstoppable. Like, people don't even understand that, and I think that they're in such a place where they are taught to hate people who are different than them, that they just completely, like, ignore the fact that we're all humans. So I wanted to talk about my experiences as someone who grew up in in the black church. it was horrible. I was teased, I was ridiculed, I was molested, I was joked upon, I was just told that I was going to be burning in the lakes of hell and whatever. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. So to be honest, the best medicine for me was to eliminate Christianity in a whole. Like, I just could not deal with it. And anyone who tried to like, oh, like this is why Christianity is so great, or who hurt you, why do you hate Christianity so much, it was those exact reasons. Like, when you grow up as someone who is LGBT and you're told your entire life that you're going to hell, why would you continue to be a part of something that is not working? First of all, if this religion was so great, couldn't it just cure my gayness? Couldn't it just cure my transness? Especially if I'm vocally saying I don't want to be trans. Especially if I'm vocally saying I don't want to be gay. I wouldn't even wish this upon my worst enemy. Luckily for me, I'm lucky. I guess you can say I'm passable, but a lot of my sisters aren't. A lot of them are out here getting murdered. A lot of them are being killed by their own families. A lot of them are being disowned. A lot of them are being seen as trash, as things that'll never be anything more than what they are. I'm here to show that that's a lie. You will be more than what you are. It gets better. Everything gets better in due time. I guess for now, that's it for this video. I think I spoke on everything I need to speak on, and thankfully this is my channel, so maybe I'll come back with more things that I think need to be spoken about, because I have plenty of stories and I have plenty of personal experiences that you might be able to relate to. Come on back to my channel and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye. And guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification just so you can be in touch with me when I upload, and you guys will be able to see my content when it's posted. And also, another thing, I think it's disgusting that we cover up these things and we just let it keep happening over and over and over and over. It's time to end the cycle, and we have to stop acting like it doesn't happen in our community. It happens in our community and it needs to stop. All the pedophilia. You want to talk about LGBT people, but y'all still listen to R. Kelly. For a community who speaks so much about oppression, and I always get this, oh, well, you can't compare the two. Because people truly think that gay people aren't born gay, just like black people are born black. Gay people are born gay. Like, this has been proven over and over again by doctors. I'm over the fact that people without even a high school degree want to keep questioning what trans people are, what we do, and want to diagnose us. Nigga, go back to school before you think that you can just diagnose somebody. Why is it such a big thing about what people choose to be if it's not hurting you? Why does it matter who people choose to sleep with if it's not hurting you? And especially if it's not hurting children and women and even men. If it's consensual sex between adults, why does it bother you? We need to fix things in our community first before we go and try to oppress another community. But my thing is, what we need to do is stop worrying about who's sleeping with who and who wants to be what, and worry about the people who are messing with kids in churches in the middle of the pews. Because if I told y'all even half the stories of the stuff that happened to me in churches, y'all would gag after everything that's happened to me and after things that I've even said happened to me and weren't believed. Fix you first, period. Like, that's how 2019, fix you. Don't worry about who's fucking who's changing genders to what. Mind your business. Try doing that in 2019. Oh, and mute R. Kelly.